20 Sunday dinners every American family used to eat. Now they're gone. Remember when Sunday dinner meant the whole family gathered around one table for a feast that took hours to prepare? Every American household had their signature dishes, from pot roast that simmered all day to elaborate casseroles that required 3 different mixing bowls. These meals were sacred weekly traditions that brought everyone together, until busy schedules and fast food made them disappear from our dining rooms. Let's take a trip back to when Sundays meant more than takeout and explore 20 Sunday dinners every American family used to eat that are now gone. The Sunday roast revolution. Nothing defined American Sunday tradition quite like the sacred ritual of pot roast. This wasn't just dinner. It was a weekly ceremony that started before church, continued through afternoon anticipation, and delivered family unity through fork tender perfection. 1. Pot roast with vegetables dominated 78% of American homes every Sunday. The ultimate centerpiece that simmered for 6 hours, sometimes more. Tough chuck roast transformed into butter-tender bliss through patience alone. The innovation was pure kitchen alchemy. 1 pot, 1 piece of meat, root vegetables that absorbed every flavor. Time did the work. Mothers did the planning. Families did the waiting. This represented more than cooking. It was maternal dedication made edible, symbol of family stability. The kind of meal that required all-day commitment. No shortcuts, no substitutes. At its peak, families spent $3.50 to feed 6 people. Chuck roast was cheap. Potatoes were cheaper. Carrots? Nearly free. The economics were undeniable. 2. Fried chicken with all the fixings demanded even more dedication. 2 hours minimum. From seasoning to 3-step breading. Cast iron perfection that created crispy exterior. Dulce interior. Kitchen chaos that was somehow worth it. This was post-church tradition. Sunday special that made the day sacred. Elaborate side dish coordination. Mashed potatoes. Green beans. Biscuits from scratch. Everything timed to perfection. Fed 8 people for under $5. Used whole chickens efficiently. Seasonal vegetables. Nothing wasted. 3. Beef stroganoff over egg noodles brought European sophistication to American tables. Sur crème sauce technique. Continental cooking knowledge. Restaurant status at home. But everything changed. Microwave culture arrived. Dual-income families eliminated all-day cooking time. KFC offered restaurant-quality results without kitchen destruction. Deep frying became a health concern. Today's Instant Pot meals promise speed over ritual. Air fryers offer convenience over cast iron mastery. Modern families spend $20 on ingredients. Get 30 minutes of cooking. Miss the entire point. The all-day anticipation? Gone. The house filled with aromas? Replaced by takeout containers. The satisfaction of mastering complex timing? Lost to convenience culture. The comfort food empire. American comfort food reached its peak during the Depression era, when making do became an art form, and stretching ingredients became survival. These weren't just meals. They were edible proof that resourcefulness could create abundance from almost nothing. 4. Glazed ham with pineapple transformed regular Sundays into holiday celebrations. Sweet-savory combination that created caramelized perfection. Holiday-worthy centerpiece that required advanced planning. Presentation skills. Kitchen confidence. Single ham provided leftovers for weeks. Sandwiches. Soups. Split pea perfection. The economics were brilliant. Initial investment. Maximum return. 5. Meatloaf with mashed potatoes represented Depression-era efficiency at its finest. Breadcrumb binding technique that stretched 1 pound of ground beef. Fed family of 6. Comfort food that meant making do mentality work. This wasn't just protein extension. It was kitchen mathematics. Ground beef plus fillers equals family satisfaction. Sliceable. Predictable. Economical. 6. Tuna noodle casserole dominated Friday traditions. One-dish solution that transformed canned tuna into substantial family feast. Budget-friendly option that maintained dinner dignity, even during tough times. Cost under $2. Fed entire family. Pantry staples only. Canned goods efficiency. No refrigeration drama. The innovation was pure practicality. Combine protein, add starch, create something that looked intentional, tasted satisfying, used whatever you had. These dishes represented more than cooking. They were survival skills disguised as Sunday dinner. Proof that American mothers could create abundance from scarcity. Feed families on almost nothing. Make it taste like love. But times changed. Sodium concerns eliminated processed meat popularity. Fresh fish became accessible, affordable. Mercury warnings changed tuna perceptions. Gourmet burger culture made plain meatloaf seem primitive. Individual portion preferences replaced family-style traditions. Processed food concerns grew. Health consciousness made cream-heavy casseroles suspect. Today's organic ingredients cost more than entire 1960s Sunday dinners. Modern spiral cut hams lack hands-on preparation ritual. Fresh pasta dishes favor sophistication over efficiency. The art of stretching ingredients? Nearly extinct. Contemporary families by convenience miss the satisfaction of creating something from nothing. The pride of feeding everyone well. On practically no budget. The international invasion. American kitchens went global during the 1950s. International cuisine invaded Sunday dinner tables, brought sophistication to suburban homes. These weren't just recipes. They were passport stamps for families who'd never left their hometown. 7. Beef and noodles represented Midwestern German-American heritage at its finest. Slow braising technique that transformed tough beef cuts, created rich, soul-warming broth, connected families to their roots. One pot at a time. Used cheaper cuts efficiently. Chuck roast, round steak, whatever was affordable. Egg noodles absorbed every flavor. Simple preparation, complex satisfaction. 8. Chicken and dumplings brought Southern comfort to national attention. Whole chicken stretched into multiple servings. Dumpling technique that created carbohydrate expansion. Simple flour mixture. Kitchen magic. This was grandmother's recipe territory. Family heritage made edible. Cooking knowledge passed down through generations. Skills that couldn't be bought, only inherited. 9. Pork chops with stuffing demonstrated advanced coordination skills. Multiple components timed simultaneously. Stovetop stuffing paired with pan-fried pork. Affordable cuts. Bread-based abundance. The innovation was cultural confidence. Americans embracing flavors beyond meat and potatoes. International techniques adapted for home kitchens. European sophistication. Achievable results. 10. Swiss steak with rice elevated inexpensive round steak through tomato-based braising. Tough fibers broken down. Slow cooking patience. Cheap cuts transformed into impressive centerpieces. These dishes represented kitchen ambition, willingness to try techniques from other cultures, adapt them for American ingredients, American budgets, American families. But sophistication demands evolved. Convenience foods offered easier alternatives. Labor-intensive preparation lost appeal. Dumpling-making skills weren't transmitted to daughters. Plain egg noodles seemed boring compared to international pasta shapes. Fresh ingredients became standard. Canned vegetables seemed inferior. Individual dietary preferences made shared casseroles impractical. Lean protein preferences moved away from fatty pork preparations. Today's fusion cuisine would mystify 1950s mothers who thought adding paprika was exotic. Modern international ingredients cost more than entire traditional Sunday dinners. Authentic technique videos make home versions seem amateur. The courage to attempt unfamiliar cooking replaced by restaurant expectations. The satisfaction of mastering grandmother's dumplings lost to convenience culture. The gourmet aspiration era. The 1960s brought restaurant ambitions to home kitchens. Suburban mothers discovered they could create fine dining experiences, using techniques that sounded impossibly sophisticated, but worked with simple ingredients. This wasn't just cooking. It was culinary theater performed for family audiences. 11. Salisbury steak with gravy elevated humble ground beef into steak dinner sophistication. Shaping technique that mimicked expensive cuts. Sauce work that transformed hamburger into restaurant presentation. Affordable luxury for special occasions. Created steak experience using ground beef economics. Pantry gravy ingredients. Kitchen confidence. The innovation was pure presentation magic. 12. Corned beef and cabbage honored Irish-American heritage while feeding large families economically. Brining technique that preserved meat for weeks. Created tender, flavorful results. Cultural identity on a plate. Inexpensive brisket cuts fed 8 people easily. Simple vegetable additions. Long cooking tradition. Heritage recipes that connected families to their roots. 13. Chicken cacciatore brought Italian elegance to Sunday tables. Tomato wine braising that created restaurant-quality flavors. Home kitchen sophistication. European technique mastery. Transformed whole chicken into elegant presentation. Simple ingredients. Complex flavors. Culinary adventurousness that impressed neighbors. 14. Beef bourguignon represented the ultimate gourmet achievement. French-inspired elegance that required wine. Technique. Patience. Special occasion cooking that elevated Sunday dinner to art form. Used inexpensive beef cuts. Created impressive results through pure skill. Julia Child territory. Attempted by ambitious home cooks. These dishes demanded more than following recipes. They required confidence, willingness to attempt techniques beyond basic cooking. Restaurant-quality aspirations using home kitchen equipment. But aspiration met reality. Authentic restaurants made home versions seem amateur. Italian establishments served better cacciatore than most mothers could achieve. French technique required skills beyond weekend cooking ambitions. Complex sauce preparation discouraged regular attempts. Wine cooking seemed unnecessarily complicated. Fresh pasta availability elevated expectations beyond simple home preparations. Today's authentic ingredients cost more than entire 1960s grocery budgets. Professional techniques accessible through YouTube make home cooking seem quaint. Artisanal preparations require equipment most kitchens lack. The courage to attempt sophisticated cooking, intimidated by professional standards. The satisfaction of mastering complex sauces, lost to restaurant expectations. The presentation revolution. American home cooks discovered the power of visual drama during the 1970s. Sunday dinner became performance art, where impressive presentation mattered as much as taste. These weren't just meals. They were edible sculptures that transformed dining rooms into restaurants. 15. Stuffed bell peppers created individual masterpieces from humble ingredients. Hollowed pepper technique that turned vegetables into serving vessels. Ground beef filling seasoned to perfection. Restaurant-style presentation. Home kitchen execution. Stretched small amounts of meat into impressive-looking portions. Each pepper a personal creation. Visual appeal that elevated simple ingredients. Made cheap ground beef look expensive. 16. Country fried steak with cream gravy brought Southern excess to national attention. Chicken frying technique applied to beef. Created unique texture combination. Crispy exterior. Tender interior. Cream gravy indulgence. Made inexpensive cube steak in a satisfying centerpiece. Regional specialty that represented Southern cooking traditions. Comfort food taken to extremes. 17. Baked ziti offered Italian-American casserole perfection. Layered baking technique that melded flavors. Fed large groups efficiently. Cheese abundance. Pasta satisfaction. One-dish convenience. Used inexpensive pasta. Transformed simple ingredients into impressive presentation. Family-style serving that brought everyone together. 18. Beef stew with biscuits provided cold weather comfort in spectacular fashion. One-pot wonder that simmered all day. Created tender, flavorful satisfaction. Biscuit accompaniment that soaked up every drop. Inexpensive stew meat transformed through patience. Slow cooking technique that created fork tender perfection. House-filling aromas. Family gathering anticipation. The innovation was theatrical cooking, making ordinary ingredients look extraordinary. Visual presentation that impressed guests. Family pride in beautiful food. But presentation demands evolved beyond home capabilities. Individual dietary preferences made uniform presentations impractical. Health consciousness eliminated fried preparations. Cream-heavy gravies became nutritional villains. All-day cooking lost appeal to busy schedules. Fresh ingredients elevated expectations beyond simple casseroles. Artisanal standards made home presentations seem amateur. Restaurant plating techniques intimidated home cooks. Today's Instagram-worthy presentations would mystify mothers who thought garnish meant parsley sprigs. Modern plating requires skills most home cooks lack. Professional standards replaced family-style satisfaction. The joy of creating beautiful food, overwhelmed by social media expectations. The ultimate Sunday spectacle. The pinnacle of Sunday dinner ambition required theatrical presentations that transformed dining rooms into banquet halls. These weren't just meals. They were edible monuments to family celebration. Dishes so elaborate they required advanced planning. Special equipment. Kitchen courage that bordered on reckless. 19. Shepherd's pie brought British elegance to American tables through layered construction brilliance. Complete meal in single baking dish. Meat layer, vegetable layer, potato crown that browned to perfection. International cuisine that expanded palates beyond regional comfort zones. Used leftover meat efficiently. Made planned meals look accidental. Casserole presentation that impressed neighbors. Fed large families economically. 20. Crown roast of pork represented the absolute peak of Sunday dinner theater. Butcher technique that created dramatic presentation. Special occasion worthy. Holiday-level spectacle for regular Sundays. Fed 12 people easily. Created memorable dining experiences. Required advanced planning. Butcher coordination. Kitchen confidence that most mothers lacked. The fading of the Sunday table. By the 1980s, the great American Sunday dinner tradition faced its greatest enemy. Not changing tastes, not health consciousness, but time itself. Modern life moved faster than pot, roast could simmer. Families scattered in different directions. The sacred table became a casualty of progress. Dual-income households eliminated all-day cooking schedules. Mothers who once spent Sundays in the kitchen now worked weekends. Soccer practice replaced church attendance. Dance recitals competed with family dinner. The rhythm of Sunday changed forever. Microwave technology promised restaurant results in minutes. Why spend 6 hours making pot roast when Stouffer's delivered similar satisfaction in 30 minutes? Frozen dinners improved dramatically. Convenience became king. Fast food chains discovered Sunday marketing opportunities. Families could get fried chicken without destroying the kitchen. Pizza delivery eliminated cooking altogether. Restaurant quality surpassed home cooking capabilities for many dishes. Children's schedules fragmented family time. Youth sports demanded Sunday participation. Birthday parties competed with family tradition. Individual activities replaced collective experiences. The gathering became impossible to coordinate. Health consciousness changed Sunday expectations. Heavy cream gravies became villains. Fried preparations seemed excessive. Salt content alarmed parents. Fresh alternatives promised better nutrition than traditional comfort foods. Cable television provided entertainment that competed with conversation. VCRs offered movie experiences at home. Sunday became another day for individual entertainment rather than family bonding. The dinner table lost its monopoly on family time. Divorce rates climbed throughout the 1980s. Traditional family structures changed. Single parents couldn't manage elaborate Sunday preparations alone. Blended families had different traditions. Complex cooking seemed like luxury few could afford. The economics shifted too. Restaurant meals became affordable alternatives. Grocery shopping became more expensive than takeout for small families. Time became more valuable than money for working parents. But the deepest change was cultural. Sunday dinner required family commitment, shared values about gathering, respect for tradition. When those disappeared, the meals became mere food rather than sacred ritual. The elaborate preparations seemed pointless without captive audiences. Why make crown roast for 3 people? Complex presentations lost meaning when eaten quickly before rushing to the next activity. Something essential was lost. The anticipation, the togetherness, the satisfaction of creating abundance for people you loved. What we lost when Sunday dinners died. The death of Sunday dinner wasn't just about food. It was about the collapse of weekly rhythm that held American families together. The disappearance of ritual that created meaning from simple ingredients. The loss of patience in a world that demanded instant everything. Modern families eat better food than their grandparents ever imagined. Organic ingredients, international cuisines, restaurant-quality preparations. But they've never experienced the anticipation of all-day cooking, the house filling with aromas, the satisfaction of creating abundance for people you love. Today's meal kit deliveries promise convenience these elaborate preparations never offered. 30 minutes solution. Pre-measured ingredients. Foolproof instructions. But they can't replicate the pride of mastering grandmother's techniques. The confidence that came from kitchen success. The knowledge passed down through generations. Restaurant culture replaced home cooking ambition. Why attempt beef bourguignon when French bistros serve it perfectly? Why make crown roast when steakhouses offer better results? Professional standards intimidated home cooks, made family kitchens seem amateur. Health consciousness eliminated many traditional favorites. Cream gravies became villains. Fried preparations seemed excessive. Salt content alarmed parents. Fresh alternatives promised better nutrition, but lost the comfort that came from familiar flavors. Individual dietary preferences fragmented family menus. Gluten-free, vegetarian, keto, paleo. Uniform meals became impossible. Shared experiences disappeared. Everyone eating different food at different times. The economics changed too. Working parents valued time over money. Restaurant meals became affordable alternatives. Grocery shopping cost more than takeout. Complex cooking seemed like luxury few could afford. But the deepest loss was cultural. Sunday dinner required family commitment, shared values about gathering, respect for tradition, willingness to wait for good things, appreciation for effort over convenience. Children today will never know the magic of pot roast anticipation, the ceremony of setting the good china, the pride of presenting something beautiful you created yourself, the satisfaction of feeding people you love. Progress brought us convenience, speed, efficiency, options. But it took away the ritual that made Sunday special, the gathering that lasted hours, the conversation that happened naturally around food that took all day to prepare. Some things can't be optimized, only experienced, only remembered, only mourned. These Sunday dinner traditions represented more than meal planning. They were weekly ceremonies that required dedication, skill, time, the kind of commitment that modern life doesn't allow. We gained convenience, lost ritual, gained variety, lost gathering, gained speed, lost anticipation. Maybe that's the price of progress. Trading ceremony for efficiency, tradition for convenience, the satisfaction of creating something beautiful for the ease of ordering something adequate. But for those who remember, the aroma-filled house, the perfectly timed presentation, the faces around the table. Some things were worth the effort, even if nobody makes them anymore.